Namaste, welcome to Buddha's teaching. Today we are talking about the same subject about anger, but this time it's not about your anger per se, it's about someone else's anger. Okay, um, we're talking about, let's say someone is angry at you, okay, or is angry with you. What is it that you need to do? So first of all, as we all know, that when we have anger, that is an unwholesome mind activity, right? When there is anger inside, we all know that that is unwholesome, okay? So a lot of time we are talking about anger within ourselves, but now we're talking about anger in somebody else, okay? That you are in contact with, that you are interacting with, that you are communicating with. All right. So, for example, you are having some kind of conversation with somebody. All right, whether doesn't matter, your spouse, your sibling, whoever. So you say something, you express some kind of opinion, some kind of ideas, okay, and it sort of offended somebody, okay. So that somebody, whoever that person is, it doesn't matter. They snap, okay. They get mad at you, okay. So when they get mad at you because of something that you just said, and of course now that person has a ball of fire inside, okay. Big or small, it doesn't matter, but fire is fire. There's a ball of fire. Now the person is angry, the person is mad at you, okay. And of course we as human being, we talk fast, we react fast, right? So when the person is angry at you because you said something, you just said something, and that person is going to say something back at you, right? Is when the person snaps, she or he get mad, the person is going to say something probably not pleasant to your ears, okay. So when the person react to your words, to your opinions, to whatever you say, the person snap at you and throw hurtful words back to you, okay, because they are angry of what you just said. For most of us, all right, um, lay people, for most of us, we become angry back, okay. We react back, angrily also. You say, oh, this and that, no, I didn't mean, and then we have a heated conversation, okay. So that's what happened most of the time, okay. That's what usually happen when you say something, um, and you just have some kind of opinion, and for whatever reason the other person in the group, or or the one person that you talk to, they snap at you, they're angry at you because of what you just said, or they disagree with your ideas and your opinions, and they get mad at you, and they say something back to you, and then normally we react back with anger also, okay. So another word, let's say you start out as with a more normal conversation, and something happened, boom, that person react back angry to you, okay. Now the person has is burning and throw the ball of fire to you. So what happened is, most of us, we are lay people, we react back by we catching the ball, now we get burned, now we are on fire also, and then we snap back, all right, and we reply back, and Now you have a heated conversation, back and forth, and it grows bigger, and to whatever, who knows. So this is a common scenario that happens a lot. So what to do when you are in the conversation and all of a sudden somebody snap at you? All right. As the saying goes, you cannot put out fire by using fire. All right. You can put out fire by using water. Okay. So when you say something, okay, uh, express opinion, ideas, or whatnot, whatever, okay, and now the other person have some kind of dislike within her or him, okay, so the person is mad at you and snap back, boom, okay, right away. This is when you need the training of understanding, okay, when they snap back at you, what you need to do is, okay, you don't react back. What you need to do is remain calm, remain cool, just like water, okay, because that's how you put out fire. All right. So when you say something, or right, or you mention something, or you disagree something with the idea of the other person, and they snap at you and they get mad at you, what you do is, instead of reacting back, right, trying to express, trying to explain your opinion, trying to explain your idea, you step back, okay, and here's what you say: oh, sorry about that, did I just make you angry? I didn't mean to do that, okay. um, so that is how you stay calm, that is how you stay cool, that is how you uh, keep the situation in a control and in a peaceful manner, okay. You don't want anything to escalate or anything, so instead of uh, response back, okay, you say something or whatnot, all of a sudden the person, boom, what you do is say, oh, I'm sorry, honey, I'm sorry, dude, I'm sorry, John, whatever, okay, I didn't mean to make you upset, right? I didn't mean to be angry. I was just, okay, if you don't like it, disagree, oh, I take it back, sorry about that, okay. So this is how you bring the temperature down, right? You don't fight, you don't fight fire with fire. You cannot put fire out with fire, right? You put fire out with water, with something cool, right? Okay, so this is how you handle an unexpected situation or unexpected things that can happen just like that, okay, during a conversation. At the snap finger, you were talking something, somebody just out of the blue snap at you, okay. So when that happens, you have to be able to control yourself, right, to hold yourself back and say, oh, okay, sorry about that, okay, instead of acting back, okay, sorry about that, okay, I didn't mean to upset you, right? That's the last thing I want to do. I didn't mean to upset you. Maybe so you misunderstood me or whatnot. But whatever it is, sorry. Okay. So the other thing that you also need to keep in mind. So this is one of the things that we have to keep in mind all the time. That a lot of time during we have conversation, we human being, we have ideas, right? We have ideas regarding whatever it is. We have ideas, and that ideas we express it in the form of our own opinions, okay. And the opinions, if it's in agreeing it's in an agreeing term with the other person, it's okay. But when it's not, then that's when we have issue, okay. That's why a lot of time they say keep your opinions to yourself. That's what it means, that you keep the opinion to yourself. Instead of talking too much, you remain calm. But here is something that this is a skill that we all need to develop. Okay, the skill of talking, the skill of getting point across without offending somebody, without making uh, other person upset. Okay, so we have to be able to understand the situation, to assess the time, right? The time and the person also. Okay, you see whether if it is the appropriate time to mention that idea or your opinion of yours, or you rather remain calm because you know that if you say that idea or opinion, that person uh, may get angry, may get upset. So instead of saying directly, instead of confronting, okay, the person like that, you figure out a way, okay, to get the message across. Okay, if you see something that the person is not understanding correctly or whatnot, it doesn't mean that you don't care, but you have to figure out a way, because when you get somebody mad, when somebody is mad at you, it doesn't matter how good of an idea you have, they're not gonna listen to you. Okay, when they're angry, they already have a thick wall, okay, in front of them. It doesn't matter what you say, it does not go through. Okay, you have to understand that. So in order for you to make the point across, to get your point across, so the other person can understand where you come from, can understand your ideas, okay, you have to figure out a way that approach the person and make the person think for himself or for herself, okay, whether that is true or not. So all you can do is that you give them something to think about, right? Instead of pushing your ideas onto them or whatever, you give them something to think about by way of example, okay, by way of telling stories, okay. That's why in Buddha's teaching, the Buddha oftentimes bring up example of all kinds of things instead of saying directly to the person who the Buddha communicate with. The Buddha pull out example there, all over the place, and let the person think for themselves. Okay, when the person think themselves like that, oh, okay, yeah, I think that's right, and then the point is, get across, right? The point get across. That is the best way to get the message across. Okay, not by snapping, not by reacting angrily to the situation. uh, just imagine for yourself. Okay, let's say somebody, all of a sudden somebody come from somewhere and they are mad at you for whatever you do, boom 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 boom, and then now you're angry. When you're angry, you talk back, right? So now you're talking back, well, nobody listen to anybody. Okay, there's no message getting across, because all both parties do is they trying to one up each other, because now they are angry, right? They're fighting. So they say this, they say that, they say a lot of hurtful things that they can have regret later on in life, because when you're angry, you say all kinds of unwholesome things that is very hurtful, right? That can be very hurtful, and the other party remembers those things. All right, they remember those things. So that's why you don't want to get into a heated argument and then you say all kinds of stuff that you cannot take back. Once you say it out, you cannot take it back, because it's already registered in the other person's memory. Okay, so so the skill is that we need to develop is we have to pick the right time. Okay, so a lot of time you don't need a lot of conversation, a lot of requirement, all that. Sometimes you only need you only need 2 or 3 minutes, or even 1 minute, when there's something happen and you just point out, you see that. So what would you what would what do you think? is that the appropriate behavior, appropriate speech, language, and all that. Let the person figure out and understand and develop their own way of thinking regarding whatever situation is. Okay, and that's how you get the point across. You cannot just shove everything onto the person, and then through heated conversation, it doesn't go through. Okay, and there are times. So, for example, there are also times that out of the blue. Okay, let's say you're doing something, but whatever you do, okay, especially this happens within the family. Okay, um, let's say you do your household chores, you do your things or whatever, and then your family members come and see, and then they just like that, right? They scold at you. Okay, they scold at you. They say, oh, why you do this thing? All those things. So you now, in this scenario, you're not saying anything. You're just doing your stuff, and you mind your own business, right? All of a sudden, somebody come, boom, blasted at you. Right? Say, oh, okay, right. So also, it's the same thing that you should do is refrain from reacting. Okay, refrain from uh, yelling back. Refrain from keep cool, keep calm, and say, oh, okay. What happened? Okay, what did I do wrong? Okay, so this is how you keep the temperature down. Okay, so let's say you do something that the people, your family members, don't like. Okay, and then you say, maybe you misunderstand me, or maybe I understood you, and things like that. Okay, say, okay, I mean, we all have like and dislike. Okay, we are human. We have our own unique personality, our own likes and dislike. So there are times that you do certain things that your other family members don't like. Okay, and they come and they snap at you and angry at you. Okay, so with that, instead of fighting back, instead of throwing back fire, okay, you remain calm, you remain collected. Okay, and then you said, all right, let me see. Okay, maybe I shouldn't do that. Maybe I should do the other way. Okay, or maybe if it's just personal preferences, maybe you can come to some kind of compromise. Okay, it just for a sake of having a peaceful resolution, okay, within the family, instead of fighting back, right? So those are the things that how maybe it's a little things, but those little things can do a lot to if to your peace of mind, can do a lot to your the well-being of the family. Okay, because oftentimes this kind of friction happens within the family. It happens with people who we are close to. Um, there are also, the other scenario that I want to point out is that there are times that we say something, or that we mention something, okay, to the person out of good intention, right? So that's another thing. Okay, another thing is we have good intention. We said, oh, why don't you do this, but for whatever reason, okay, the good intention that we have is not received well by the other person. Okay, whether you think you have a good intention, okay, for somebody, but it's not received well. Okay, if it's not received well, of course you will feel it right away, the pushback. Okay, the pushback to whatever your good intention is. So when that happens, the same thing, say, oh, okay, sorry, because the reason I say that is because maybe when you do that it's this is, but if you don't like it, that's fine. Okay, instead of taking it personal, okay, instead of let's say you have a good intention, right, to tell somebody to do something, and then they don't like it, and then they yell back, they yell you. And normally for a lot of people, when somebody yell at them, they yell back. Now the good intention turns into something very, very messy. Okay, so always keep calm and keep collected, and don't be afraid to say, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to get you upset, I didn't mean to make you angry. All right, sorry, take it back. Okay, and then you figure out different way if you think it's something important. Okay, later on when time is right, you figure out time, you figure out example story that you can point out to the person during a later time. Okay, so this is a skillful way that we all need to develop in order to have a real good communication, uh, getting something across in a good way without causing friction, without causing issue. And it's inevitable that we always, that we say something and then, something flare upside away. When it spark, the flare start go up, you just back out. You just back out. Okay, stay cool. You don't fight. All right. You don't use fire to put out fire. You just stay cool, calm, collected, and say, okay, sorry. Okay, and just take it. Okay, sorry. We'll make the change and all that. Okay, so that's what I like to share with you all today. How do you handle angry people? Right. So until next time, I like to pay respect to the Triple Gems. I like to pay respect to the Buddha. I like to pay respect to the Dharma. And I like to pay respect to the Sangha.